Before we start the video, don't forget to like it, share and subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button. The movie starts with Julia. She is sitting with her dog and workers are contemplating in nature. The next day, Julia goes to school. She sits in class next to her friend Chivita. They keep talking and they are happy because they want to friends. By the way, overall at this time, the teacher, who was explaining today's lesson, knew all students say that today there is a cosmic phenomenon. It will only happen approximately every 50 years. This phenomenon is meteor rain, and this is a phrase about a large number of meteorites on Earth. The aerial lap celebrates, but its view remains. It's so wonderful to feel like you're in a shopping mall every year at that time. Everyone decides to attend this event today. The class is over and everyone is done. They leave at the end of the day, and everyone comes and goes. Artyom means Julia's friend. At the same time, he loves her very much, and very soon they want to get married. He is currently taking Artyom Julia to attend. This rain event is together, so you love it. Julia is at home to take things. She gets there and leaves. But the problem is that it's the first I didn't go out. I found her father, Julia, and her mother dead there. By the way, I've been my friend for a long time, which means there's nothing else. Her father, General L. Baidov, was a strict war general. You now know that she is going with Artyom. They attend today's event, and her father refuses. Of course, especially because this Artyom is visible on it. Very much so, he is a beggar, and in general, he tells her it doesn't mean that this is his final decision, and he just leaves. Unfortunately, Julia, my friend, is a real girl, and that's why she turned out to be Artyom also, and they went together to whom high in the city, so they can see this event is from the roof, and Julia was found there. Her friend Sveta was very happy that she was there and stayed. Everyone sat, celebrating together until later. After a while, Artyom and Julia went to a place and got married in a place, and everyone is waiting for the great event. They watch it at this time in space. We find that there is a spaceship that looks strange, anticipating the Earth from above. But hope purifies from meteorites heading towards Earth hit it. Walt's fin started to break down and go down to the ground. At this moment, the Ministry of Defense received news, and he knew that there was a very huge body coming on the Earth immediately after the moon. Planes appear to hit the body. This is because no one knows at all, and here it remains. The disaster is that the planes went out immediately and hit missiles on this ship. It broke down even more with all its might. She started to come down to the ground, and her friend changed people. Macht is happy and waiting for the meteor rain, a giant ship that is tired with all its might and tears in every way. Something in front of her that kills the largest possible amount of humans literally made a mess in seconds. It is normal, unfortunately. During this chaos, the second one died. But Julia Wharton was injured. Unnormally, but they were injured. But after what this happened, and the ship landed on the ground and took the baby, he was with his soldiers and went to see the body that had descended. Of course, first of all, put a large amount of the soldiers looked at the place from every direction. Then it got closer. He was on the ship, and here he found a creature that looked like a stranger approached him. This creature called Bidv and said, "We don't want any problems, and we will leave here but you gave us a little time, nothing more." And they immediately left. Bidv returned to a meeting with all ministries. There he told Bidv what happened and that it was not, "I know until now which ship landed. Why did you go down and where did you come from?" But they said, "We need some time and he will walk in." At this moment, the Prime Minister saw that there was nothing wrong. They have another option, so at least not. They do not wage war with people who do not know their strength. How did they decide to watch the ship for a moment? In a moment. But they don't do anything, just from this moment. The news of the ship, my friend, is spreading in every part of the world, has raised that planet Earth has entered in a giant war with unknown people in every way. A place at this time, Julia excels in the hospital. And of course you will find people in the hospital. Many are infected, and as soon as you look at the TV, you know everything that happened from the beginning until now. But unfortunately, she finds his headset next to her friend's penis because that's what's left of her. So Artyom, who was sitting, went out for a ride now outside. She asked about her friend, so he sold her. She died when the ship landed on the ground. Of course, Julia gets angry abnormally, but in general after a while, the general comes to push her father and takes take it and go, and in general, the situation has passed and been long. The road remained while PDF and Julia were there. They go home and Julia asks her father about this ship has landed, but her father tells her he literally doesn't know anything until now. Julia smiled, and after a while they arrived home. By the way, Julia's grandmother came home there for the sake of checking on her and sitting with them, a little in the middle of the chaos that is happening all over the world. In general, Lebedev walks and the next day she goes, Julie is at school. But of course she is armored because she is her colleague from the area here lives very close, from the area where the ship fell. Therefore, an armored vehicle takes them to school safely. And you go to school and there the teacher was, he talks to Julia and her colleague about the great event when the ship lands on the ground and we have a chance. Awesome for the sake of getting to know creatures. The second is one of the second planets. And we know that we were not alone at that time. Julia got angry and preferred you shout at this teacher, because this is their land and these aliens came and killed their friends and colleagues. Many people acquitted him and caused unnatural destruction. So you take some of them now. And they are all. She gets nervous and Julie walks at this moment. A fanatic went to her father's safe and took out a gun after I took some and went to Artyom all the time at the workshop, where he is currently sitting with his friends Ruslan. And when Bazbez came to them now, she killed them. We must take our rights from the creatures that attacked us Earth and we will be expelled from here at this moment. My friend, I honestly don't know Artyom. He and his friends brought it. Where is this boldness and courage from? But they are all stupid. They agreed to this and therefore took everyone together. Now they went towards a corridor that leads to the place where the ship is, and I say passage because currently there is a ban from the army in place on the area where the ship is located. So if they don't go from a secret passage, they know they won't be able to enter. The important area is that everyone entered the secret passage. They reached the area, and then Artyom Julia landed and a car was parked there so it could stay in safety, but he and his friends remained. So he continued rotating on these creatures. What is important is Julia. Of course not, I didn't hear what he said as usual. So I went out and started talking here and there. Then she went up to her owner's apartment, Sveta, who was in the area here as well. So Julia took it out and kept watching pictures of her friend sad and missing the queen. He immediately found Joya with the space in front of her. I was very afraid and it was cold, but the creature was dirty and loyal. This moment, Artem and his friends gathered around the place because of Julia's screams. They started hitting this creature until they fell from the top of the building. Then it remained. They checked on Julia and went down to see the cake. The strange thing is that when everyone went down, they found the creature. It was thrown away, but at the same time they felt it was empty. But I still have blood. So I realized that this is just a suit, nothing more, and there was someone there. And this person actually ran away. She looked at Joria next to her and found a human-looking person. I threw it aside and didn't find anything for anyone immediately. She said to everyone, "Take this suit and let's go." At that moment, everyone found something like this. The shield was in place. So they wanted. They took it, but it was heavy. So they took the suit that she was just here, and they left the place. And that's it, sir. Everyone ran away from the place and came back the workshop, and there they hung the suit and were amazed, very much so. And at the same time, we literally don't know what should they do with it. Artyom told them, "We are going. We are sleeping now, and indeed everyone is asleep." But my friend Julia couldn't sleep, so she immediately took some of them alone. Ani entered the band area and left, at the place where the suit was thrown. Here Julia realized that when she saw my son, Adam was thrown aside. His house was not hers. But the one in the suit was supposed to be an alien. Bonnie Adam is actually thrown here because he was injured at the time. Julia tried to wake him up, but couldn't. So she took him on a winch that was thrown here in the place and she left. She put it in her car and immediately took it out. Why school? Because Julia has a friend named Google, is very genius and has studied many things, including medicine. If you want him to treat her, the human being who in front of him, but Julia, as soon as she brought Google was very excited that this was alien, and I am surprised that he is a human being at the same time. But in general, Google told her, "We need it now. Call me to the hospital so I can find out how to treat him." But they took Julia and went to the hospital and entered. He is injured, and of course they are all wearing them. He dressed as a doctor so that no one would feel them until now. They then arrived at an empty room, and there it remained. Everyone started working with all their might, because they treat this man because he has bleeding. I also gave Julia some of her blood, but everyone preferred to sit like this, hoping that this man woke up, and after a while Julia looked up on this man's hand. I found the bracelet in his hand. It looked strange, but suddenly this bracelet was held in one hand. Julia, don't come out again, and remember this bracelet. It is very, very, very necessary, my friend, in front of me. We will need this man very much in general. It still didn't crack. So Julia and Google took it and put it in a store like this belongs to them. But it is a little far from the hospital, and Julia told Google, I'm going. Now just take care of him and I'll be back soon. Again, Julia walked in this oasis. On the other hand, we find that the army found an apparatus, so the shield looks like it's located very close to the place where I landed on the ship, and now it remains. The lime I have in my hand is left with the scientists because they thought about revealing the idea to him. But in time, a new problem occurs when people go to the city. Lake has completely dried up. What happened is that the whole ministry is holding a meeting with the army, and scientists are now. One of the scientists tell everyone that most of its water, the city, is really finished, and that's because the ship, the satellite channel, attracted her all. And as far as we know, these people use water to treat the ship's body is damaged due to falling at the moment. General El Baidov completed and told the Prime Minister, we also found a body that looked like a shield and was in reality. This body is lying about why water is still not there. We know why he is lying at this moment. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister has no solution other than that we are waiting as they asked us to. Maybe we will. They fix the ship and leave, but the people remain, so spend and bring them water by any means. Because if people continue like this without a lot of water, they will revolt. Only we have to end the meeting. The second is Julia returning to Google at the store because he called her and told her that the man wake up. Julia, as soon as she arrives at the warehouse, she goes to look on the man who is this alien. I will possess you. She talks to him and asks him his name, and he tells her this man's name is Hakan, and she tells him, Julia, look, I helped you and hurt you because you helped me when I was going to work on us and saved me. Only we are equal. Wear a little of the clothes I wear. I brought them to you. Leave the place and walk completely in at this moment. I will be one of Sukkot wearing his clothes. He takes some of it and walks. But here it remains gradually. Julia on Hakan is an alien and is literally a constant. He was walking alone in the street, so she ran out. He followed her to get him a second one instead of her getting him one problems. And indeed, by the way, he had problems because, a group of officers stopped him and asked him where. By pressing the ID, he told them he didn't have it, so he took it. The police name at that moment saw Julia who it happened, so I decided to go and catch up. This will happen quickly. At this time, we find that Artyom, he is sitting with his friends in the workshop, and workers are trying. They cut off the spacesuit they have with them. The suit is very, very strong and will give them Artyom. I will talk to General El Bidif Abu Julia, who is, he takes it and acts, so Artyom rings on him. He agreed with him to meet him after a while. So he took it. Artyom and his friends in Arabic went to the place where Lebedev will meet. This place, oh sir. It was one of the government headquarters, and people standing in front of him and holding large demonstrations because I want water. The problem is that Artyom and his friends, they preferred to stand there, which is supposed to mean that the Bidif will come after a while. But unfortunately, the demonstrations, there was a riot and people started beating the soldiers, and thus the owners of Artyom struck in the text. So let them quickly walk from here, he will keep waiting. But when I think about it, the chaos spread more. Try to help and stop what among everyone. He was beaten and arrested on charges of rioting. Unfortunately, at that time, he came to Badaf and saw Artyom was arrested and refused to cross his mouth at all. He left him to be arrested at this time. Sir Artyom was named after the police, and there it was. I'm literally standing next to him, but of course he's not. They don't know. And this one only knows this in the complex. Julia came out now and saw Artyom. He was arrested, and Artyom said to her, don't be afraid. In a day, he will leave her and go to prison. Julia stayed. So I simply came up with this name because she simply means the general's daughter. What's going on after they got everyone out of the name? Julia told him. I won't leave you until you take it. Your ship is leaving here, and he told her I won't be there. I can walk from here without doubt. So I asked him what a doubt, he told her. This is a device we use so we can travel to faraway places, and I am my planet, very, very far away, and without suspicion we will not be able to walk from here. The description of Hakan Company to Julia remains. I told him that her father and those with her were cautious. On it, my friend, by the way, this is the shield that I told you that it looks strange, which means what is driving, he took it with him and kept it. In general, Julia decided help me. I'm going to go to the headquarters now. There was her father, and there she asked the soldier that he talks to her father and tells him that your daughter wants to meet you at that time. He allowed Bud, and they went out to him, and she and Hakan remained for the sake of meeting him. I mean, I'm supposed to be there in front of her father. He is just a friend, nothing more. The important thing is that Julia kept fighting with her father. There are trivialities, and you try to disrupt it in every possible way. At the same time, I will take his card Lebedev, who uses it as a key and wears a suit. So he held on and went out looking for his way until he did not reach the factory she was in. So he quickly touched the shell, and the ball came out of it is important to me. He took her and walked away from the place at that moment. These are the scientists who were there who felt that it doesn't work. So they turned on the alarm and said there was an intruder in the headquarters, and it is easy for him to introduce jurisprudence to his daughter. She takes her friend and walks, and indeed she took it with all elegance. Julia Hakan, and they left Lebedev's headquarters. They are literally secured inside an armored vehicle while it remains the armored vehicle takes them to Reni Artyom on Julia. He told her that he had gone out and just wanted to meet her. Julia doesn't want to meet him because she's currently with Hakan in general. It means that you close with him and go down. She and I will be from the armored vehicle at that time. He will walk and go and put Dowd on the ship. He walked, but Jay told him that she had to wait until night. You go from the secret passage and no one sees you and you die. I will be with Julia at home now because, he eats and rests a little. And actually after a while they arrived there and the grandmother was there too. So she said, Julia told her that this means I will be her friend and come. He eats with her for a while and it's normal. I'm very used to it. The situation has started now. Julia and I will be eating, and you can say here, my friend, that Julia and Hakan. They started to love each other, and Julia forgot Artyom completely. Kali Swam looks at Julia on TV. You own the TV and the news says it was stolen. Something from the army and he ran away. And she looked at Julia. From the window, she finds her father coming to the house, and with him are many soldiers. Forn takes Hakan and escapes from here, of course. It is now coming out to bid in order to arrest Hakan. He and Julia find him. Julia ran away from here and I will be there. My friend, they ran away and went to Google right away. And I asked him, Julia now gives them any clothes to disguise themselves with because they need to disappear from sight for a while until dawn comes and all. The people are there. She was sleeping and then they ran away. But she changed all their clothes. Julia took Hakan now and went to his party. This is in the middle of the street because the party is full of people a lot. No one will focus on Hakan because no one focused on the other. But unfortunately there was one of Artyom's friends is there. Literally by chance he saw Julia and Hakan, and at that moment he got very angry. He called his friend and told him that Julia was cheating on him. Overall, the situation passed by, my friend, and the party was over, and dawn was near. So Julia took Hakan about. I took the tunnel road towards the area where there is his ship in it. But she said goodbye to him. It's all sadness because she really loved him and he said the same thing. At that moment, he took each other and started walking. Julia F. Artyom called her. And here she was. Julia was completely tired of him and said to him, I hate you, I don't love you at that time. Artyom came out of a building that was literally next to her, and it turned out that he had sent her from, after a word accompanied him. Artyom was all nervous because he loved Julia and was not hers. In the end, she sold it to an alien. You don't know him at all. So Artyom left his friends. They catch Hakan and hit him while they were hitting him and saw what he looked like. So they will take it from him, despite the idea that Julia, I told them that this man is not an ordinary human being and that he alien. This doubt is important because he wants to leave Earth and he walks completely. But everyone still continues his blow. At that moment, Julia wanted to intervene and stop the madness. This was the day he hit her with a pen, and here I will be. He got really angry, and they did everything he could to get down on everyone. He hit the right and left of one of Artyom's friends. He took out a gun to hit Hakan with, so he went too far and killed him, one of his friends. When this happened immediately, this boy ran away from here, shocked by what happened. He did this because he killed his friend, but Artyom is him, and his second friend were going crazy over their friend, he who dies before his eyes. But in general, they took each other and fled because the army arrived by voice. He shot, and now Julia is arrested, and I will be there. After what happened, Artyom was literally at the top. He was nervous about everything that happened, so he literally said to me. He immediately started posting videos on my enemies and his second friend, and many articles in which they say, the aliens who came down took the water. When they came down, they also destroyed a lot of people. Many people died. And finally, a friend died. Lena is still a soft cat. So we will all gather. We will meet in front of their ship in a few days, in an hour. We will take our rights from them, and that's it. Sir, this spread from here, and your eyes see nothing but light. People gathered from all sides, and they were all nervous. He got angry, and they went to the county gate where he was a ship, and their Fadal Artyom kidnaps them and says that aliens did this and that to us, the army protects them. So we will get our rights by ourselves. Artyom immediately raided a quantity of weapons. Many times after that, he said to his friend, I am going to the workshop. He came back again and took his car owner and ran with all his might at the boycott gate and breaking it and let all the people come in, and they started immediately. Everyone is fighting with the army soldiers who are protecting them the place. As for Artyom, I will find him now the workshop and wearing the alien suit that was there to stay strong and get his rights himself. At this time, the Prime Minister has reached all the calamities that are happening now, so talk General Lebedev. For the sake of acting before these people arrive on the ship at this time, Lebedev had already reached his daughter and Hakan. At that time, he said to Bidov, I am not a human being. I'm the one who came in the spaceship. You and your soldiers now have to catch up with these people and don't let them get close to the ship, because the ship, there are robots that will kill anyone who gets close to them, and if people still get rid of these robots, the ship arrived in the ship's defense system. It will make the ship blow itself up, and this will destroy everything, even in the world at this moment. My friend Leif, he couldn't believe it would happen, and he still intended to lock him up. Here at the time, Julia pulled out his gun. She said to her father, if you don't leave me now, I will leave. I will be there to get him back to the ship and leave him. He walks. I will kill myself at this moment. Leave them. I took Julia here with an armored vehicle and ran quickly on the ship. At this time, the ship people had literally reached the robots. They were cutting each other up, and there was a massacre happening. There, Julia finally approached the armored vehicle, so Artyom arrived in the suit that he was wearing it, and immediately started trying to destroy the car, despite Julia kept trying to predict him. But unfortunately, Arabic in the end turned into unity. Bidov had arrived with his soldiers, and they started too. They are trying to stop Iraq between robots and the people here. Thank God have been able to do so. They control the situation, and it all stopped Iraq. But here you are after the car flipped over. He had already arrived. The last one was from Artyom, so he got out of it and started fighting with him. Although I will be strong, Artyom was okay. He will kill him. Julia blew up on him in Arabic. His weight hit him against the wall. Then she went down to check on him. On Hakan Artyom at that moment was the suit. She destroyed his insult and grabbed a gun that was next to him, and he always started shooting at Hakan. Unfortunately, he and Julia were injured and both of them fell. They were lying in their blood in this oasis, and they had arrived. The rest of the soldiers arrested Artyom. But after that, it was too late, and literally he was going to die, limiting himself to his daughter. But then he became a robot. She took Hakan and Julia, and they left with them. Both are on the inside of the ship itself. Of course, the Bidov entered with them, not understanding anything. But when the robots entered it, I put Hakan and Julia on beds like this strange, and it started to happen to them like some kind of the process. And at the same time, this is the ship system. And the one named Sol started talking to Lebedev. Lebedev, Sal's soul. What are you doing in my daughter? He said to him. Ask. We are being treated and don't be afraid. She will live because I will give her her roses. Therefore, no matter what happens to her, she will not die. But unfortunately, he will have died at this time, he told Bev Solo. What brought you our land anyway? Sol said to him. We live on a developed planet. There are stages about you, and therefore a part of us like Hakon Embaud was watching the distant planets in his ship. Those like you watch its development one by one, but by mistake, at that time, the meteorites hit us. She was coming down to the ground and ruined our system by mistake. Our ship went down a little towards the ground. But we would have walked again, had it not been for you quickly rushed and hit. Him with missiles, the regime has completely failed and we have fallen on your planet and nothing else. They finished talking and suddenly Julia came, because she was afraid that's it, unfortunately. I wish there was a crack, and I realized that he was dead with all sadness. She put the shock on the ship and got out of it with her father. She took the ship, Haken and robots. Finally, she flew and walked completely off the ground, you can say, my friend. That after what happened, humans will not be able to live normally. Again. Especially after they realized that they were not alive alone in this world. But the last thing is left. We see that I will wake up while he is on the ship, his, and this means that he did not die. This means I still don't know exactly what will happen. I would like to tell you that the story, my friend, is still there. It's over. But this is just the beginning, and we will continue together. This story remains in the second part of the film. This is the next video, God willing. So wait. That's it. Peace.